Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Professor Sofian. So today we are going to explain about our research with the title of Social Cultural Adaptation Challenges in UNIMAS. Okay, this is my team. Nur Ain Rosli, Putri Nurin Zati, me myself, Mama Aziz Daniel, Nur Ali Afifa, and also Andrea Beatrice. So throughout the presentation, we are going to explain briefly about what we have done in this research, and hopefully Prof will understand what we are going to explain about.
My name is Nur Alafifa binti Nara Bidinsha, metric number 86776, and I will be presenting the introductory part of our mini research starting from the abstract. The advancements of higher education in Malaysia has led to increased cultural diversity as more students from different cultural and regional backgrounds enroll in local universities. This has prompted a question on how the students adapt to their new academic and social environments depending on their regional background. This study focuses on the social-cultural adaptation challenges faced by Peninsular Malaysia and Borneo Sabah students at University Malaysia Sarawak UNIMAS. It seeks to find if there are differences in their adaptation depending on their state of origin. The study uses a quantitative approach using online surveys and questionnaires to gather comprehensive data on the experiences of Peninsular Malaysia and Sabahan students. The theoretical framework of Berry's acculturation framework and Touchfeld and Turner's social identity theory guide the analysis of the study results. However, preliminary findings suggest there are no significant differences in the socio-cultural adaptation experiences between Peninsular Malaysia and Sabahan students. The keywords to this study are socio-cultural adaptation, Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah, higher education, and cultural diversity. Next, I will be presenting about the research background. Conceptual definition of socio-cultural adaptation can be referred to the process of individuals adapting and assimilating to the cultural and social norms, values, and practice of a different cultural setting. In the context of this study, it refers to how the students from Peninsular Malaysia and Borneo Sabah handle the shift from their native cultural context to that of Sarawak. Goody, Kunz, and Berry, in their respective studies, mention a few key aspects of socio-cultural adaptation that include developing effective communication skills to bridge cultural differences and achieving social integration through participation of social activities. Identity negotiation, which is balancing one's original cultural identity with the new culture, are also critical to ensure a smooth sociocultural adaptation in individuals. Despite existing studies of international students' adaptation in Malaysia, research specifically focusing on the experiences of students from different Malaysian regions at Sarawak is limited. Hence, this study aims to fill the gap by examining how these cultural disparities in students may affect their sociocultural adaptation. There are three objectives to our mini research, which are to examine the impact of students' state of origin on their adaptation to Sarawakian culture. The second one would be to compare the sociocultural adaptation experiences between Peninsular Malaysia and Sabahan students in UNIMAS, while the third one would be to investigate the influence of gender on the sociocultural adaptation experiences of Peninsular Malaysia and Sabahan students at UNIMAS. In the literature review, we will be taking a closer look to an overview of the sociocultural adaptation and acculturation. Berry's acculturation framework is one of the most widely recognized models for understanding the process of adaptation to a new cultural environment. According to Berry, acculturation involves a dual process of cultural and psychological change that results from the continuous contact between two or more cultural groups. This process can lead to various adaptation of strategies, including integration, assimilation, separation, and marginalization, each influencing how individuals can adjust to a new culture. In another study, Ward and Kennedy further distinguish between the psychological and sociocultural adaptation. Psychological adaptation refers to an individual's emotional and psychological well-being, while the sociocultural adaptation involves the ability to fit in and negotiate interactive aspects of the new culture, such as building relationships and performing daily activities. These distinctions are critical in understanding the comprehensive adaptation experiences of students from different cultural and regional backgrounds at UNIMAS. Effective adaptation demands cultural learning, which involves obtaining knowledge about the new culture's norms, values, and behaviors. According to Ward, cultural learning is crucial for obtaining the abilities needed to function well within a new cultural setting. This includes recognizing social signs, communication styles, and expected behaviors from the culture. William Goody Kunz, in his study, underlines the necessity of efficient interpersonal communication in the adaptation process. His anxiety uncertainty management hypothesis says that successful intercultural communication depends on managing the anxiety and uncertainty that develop when communicating with individuals from diverse cultural backgrounds. This theory stresses the importance for Peninsula Malaysia and Sabahan students at UNIMAS to alter their communication techniques to bridge cultural gaps and develop productive interactions with peers and faculty members. Existing research only highlights the challenges that international students face in the context of socio-cultural adaptation in Malaysia. Lack of information about the cultural challenges that our local students who studied in higher education institutions outside of their home state may leave university administrators with insufficient data to develop targeted interventions that may produce a more productive and conducive learning environment for them. Hence, in this study, we aim to research more about the sociocultural adaptations that Peninsula Malaysia and Borneo Sabah students may face in UNIMAS.
So hi, my name is Puteri Nurhalizati binti Muhammad Nasi. So just like what Alia said, there is lack of information about cultural challenges that Peninsula Malaysia and also the Borneo Sabah student have to face when they pursue their study in university. Therefore, this study eager to find how the student place of origin can affect their social cultural adaptation challenges in Sarawakian culture, particularly. And the second one is there are differences in the Sarawak Malay proficiency and also between the Peninsula Malaysia and also Sabahan students at UNIMAS. And the last one is how does gender influences this cultural adaptation between Peninsula Malaysia and also the Borneo Sabah student. Okay, we move on to the hypothesis. As you can see in the screen, we propose three hypotheses. The first one is our primary hypothesis, which we expected that there is significant differences in social cultural adaptation between Sabahan and also Peninsula Malaysia students at UNIMAS. Next, we propose that there is a significant differences in Sarawak Malay language proficiency uh, between Peninsula Malaysia student and also Sabahan student at UNIMAS. The last one will be the we expected that there is significant differences how female and male student from Sabahan and also Peninsula Malaysia experience in UNIMAS.
Hello, my name is Andrea Beatrice Anak John. My matrix number is 86295. For the methods of this study, we use Google Form to get the data. First, we did the questionnaires. After that, we distributed the questionnaires using Google Form. We had distributed the Google Form to almost all of Peninsula Malaysia and Sabahan students in University Malaysia Sarawak (UNIMAS). The sample size was 105. Overall, there were 68 students that had filled out the Google form. Using the quantitative approach, the independent t-test had been done to analyze the data. Next, for the informed consent, the participants were well informed about the study's purpose. In addition, we also do maintain the confidentiality of their responses and keep them as anonymized. As we mentioned in the Google form, all of their data will only be used for the purpose of this study and will not be shared to others. Other than that, since this study is about sociocultural, we try to avoid the sensitive questions that can lead to emotional impact. For the materials, we are using the modified version of Revised Sociocultural Adaptation Scale, which is known as SCASR. Our questionnaires contain questions that are related to the sociocultural adaptation by the non-Sarawakian. The questionnaires contain 5 sections, which are interpersonal communication, academic or work performance, personal interest and community involvement, ecological adaptation, and also language proficiency. Other than that, Control factors also included in the questionnaires. For instance, the participant's age, gender, marital status, place of origin, degree of education, and the duration of stay in Sarawak. Lastly, the response format that we choose is using the Likert scale. The rationale behind the chosen format is that the participants can decide easily their answer. Moreover, it will be easier for us to collect the data.
A total of 68 students from UNIMAS have answered all the questionnaire, with 30 of them being a male and 38 of them being a female. All the participants are aged from 19 to 25 years old and above, with 39 are from Peninsular Malaysia students and 29 are from the Borneo Sabah students. 36 of the respondents have been in Sarawak for 1 to 2 years, followed by 15 of them have been in Sarawak for 3 to 5 years, while 11 of them are staying in Sarawak less than 1 year, followed by 6 of them that have been in Sarawak for more than 4 years. The socio-cultural adaptations consist of a total of 21 items, with overall Chromba Alpha result in 0.824, determined that the questions were good. The reliability for individual items has been shown in this slide.
So we can see in the screen that there is no normality QQ plot that show that the data is normally distributed. Therefore, we proceed to the independently test to find the difference in social cultural adaptation challenges in UNIMAS, but this is based on the origin, which is between Peninsula and also the Borneo student. So we can see that the result shows it is higher than 0.05, which is 0.09. Therefore, we can say that we fail to reject the null hypothesis, and there is no significance between the differences in social cultural adaptation between Peninsula student and also the Borneo states.
The second hypothesis, which is to find the difference in Sarawak language proficiency between students from Peninsular Malaysia and the Borneo Sabah students. An independent t-test was run, and there is no significant difference in Sarawak language proficiency between Peninsular Malaysia students and the Borneo Sabah students. Since the p-value is larger than 0.05, which is 0.353, we failed to reject the null hypothesis. Hence, we can conclude that there are no difference in Sarawak language proficiency between Peninsular Malaysia students and the Borneo Sabah students. For the third hypothesis, an independent t-test was run to determine if there were difference in socio-cultural adaptation between male and female respondents among undergraduate students in UNIMAS. There is no significant difference in socio-cultural adaptation between male students and female students. Since the p-value is larger than 0.05, which is 0.282, we failed to reject the null hypothesis. Hence, we can conclude that there are no difference in socio-cultural adaptation between male and female undergraduate students in UNIMAS.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Zidania bin Syahri Jamal. My matrix number 84563. So today I will talk about discussion from our research. First of all of the three test results are no different or no significant. The p-value is over 0.05 and we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So when we fail to reject the null hypothesis, we need to find other reason to support our result. So based on our result for sociocultural adaptation challenge in UNIMAS based on origin, which are Peninsula Malaysia and Borneo Sabah, we found two reasons why they are not significant, which are the first one, share Malaysian identity, and the second one, colonial by British. So when we share the identity of Malaysian, so the culture is almost the same, and when we have been colonial by British, so the education system is almost the same from the Sarawak and Peninsula Malaysia and Sabah. So this is the reason why there are no significant difference in socio-cultural adaptation challenge from the origin. Next, I will talk about the language proficiency between Peninsula Malaysia and Borneo Sabah student in UNIMAS. So, our result say is not significant. So, the reason why there is not significant because we have national language policy, which is we need to prioritize the Malay language. So Malay language is the uh, main language using in university. Also in UNIMAS, Malay is the main language in communication between lecturer and student, some and student with student. So there are no difference. And next, I will talk about um, why there are no difference in social cultural adaptation challenge based on gender. So in UNIMAS we share educational environment, the curriculum, as a curriculum, class, campus, we share between male and female. So there is no, so there is equality between all of the gender. There are no special trick for a man, no special trick for a woman. So this is why there are no difference in um, social cultural addition based on gender. That's why the result is no difference. Furthermore, I will talk the limitation from our research, which we have two limitation, which are sample size and cross-sectional design. For sample size, our group should have 105 participant or respondent, but we just get 68 respondents. And for the cross-sectional design, we do not allow for the examination of change over time or casual relationship. So next, I will talk about suggestion and recommendation in the future study. We suggest that use longitudinal studies and qualitative method. So if you guys use longitudinal studies, you can get a better result by get a lot of respondent or participant. And if you guys use qualitative method, you can get a deeper information based on experience and perspective from the participant or respondents. In conclusion, because of UNIMAS inclusive policy, standardized learning environment and strong support network, students from Peninsula Malaysia and Borneo Sabah has a little difficulty adjusting to a new culture. A coherent campus culture that encourage equal chance for social and intellectual engagement is advantageous for both groups. Furthermore, because of Malaysia common national identity and cultural norm, students from different region can integrate easily into the new environment, leading to a similar adaptation experience for all students. So I think that's all from us. Thank you, Prof. Pian.